There we go.
I see it in the corner.
And we're all here.
Yay.
So welcome back to the...
Thanks for organizing.
Yeah, no problem. I'm Matt Head of Beaverton School District.
Oh, I don't have my lower third on. Sean Williams, Riverdale School District.
And Ryan Hoxie, Hillsborough School District.
And
awesome. Good to see you again, Ryan.
It's good to see everybody. And after a 2-month hiatus, we figured out the boys of Northwest Ed Tech are back.
Yeah. At a new time, which is going to work better for everyone once Jeremy can get settled in his new job. There's been a lot of transitions the last 2 months or so.
There have all around.
Yeah. Yeah, and technically I'm still unemployed, which is the joke that's going on around here. So there'll be another transition-ish coming up soon. But so.
Very good. How are things in Beaverton?
In Beaverton? Not Beaverboro?
Yeah. I was going to ask Ryan next, so.
Okay. Beaverton is awesome right now. We just got our huge bond, and so there's a lot of balls up in the air. We just read a bunch of grants from teachers about integrating technology into their curriculum and whatnot. So there is a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be a busy summer, I think. And for anybody who happens to view this, Beaverton is going to need 3 new innovation specialists. So
yeah, I saw that in the notes. When are you guys going to hire those over the summer? Or?
I would hope so. Steve, our CIO, keeps talking about it. We need to get it done as soon as possible because he wants them in place before. So their first day on the job is not teaching some class. So yeah, we need to get those balls rolling. So yeah, very exciting stuff in Beaverton. And how is Riverdale?
Good. Not that exciting, but I've got a lot of balls in the air right now, and it's going to be good. It's going to be a busy summer, but getting there. Working on some network things, and got not a lot for you guys, but a lot for a small district. We've got a lot of mobile devices now, and a lot more coming in fall. So trying to prepare for that and get teachers prepared for that, and students, instead of just dumping a bunch of stuff and saying, "Hey, go for it."
And then, what do you guys have a plan for that? Because that's one of the things we're talking about is how to implement all the new stuff.
Well, that's the thing is we have all this stuff coming up, and there's no plan. So that's what I'm working on right now. We've got a couple things coming up that I'm trying that kind of day-to-day stuff that I've got to take care of, but I'm trying to work on getting a plan and a rollout and future purchasing all lined up.
And then are you just going to drop the stuff in, like 30 Chromebooks into a classroom, or are you going to slowly roll it out? Because we're talking about giving the teachers the devices for a month or two before we drop them all in the classrooms.
Yeah, and that's what I'd like to do. We have some out right now. Teachers are supposed to have them, but I'm not sure how much they're doing with them or even what's going on. This was before I came along, so yeah. And one of the things on our notes is we're going to be hosting a Camp Chromebook here this summer that I'm hoping to get the teachers to come to, and part of that I want to spend on like, I'm thinking there'll probably be a session on getting to know your Chromebooks, what to expect, what not to expect, how it works, all that stuff, and kind of getting into it, and then getting into how to use it with your students and in the classroom and stuff. That I'd like to get all the teachers involved in before we dump another, couple hundred Chromebooks out there in the wild and say, okay, good, go for it.
It's nice to get them in their hands. I've been suggesting that with whatever device a lot of our buildings have been pushing out there, but there's not a lot of teacher use yet. So I just keep suggesting, you know what? Let them take it home for the summer. It's cool. They'll come back, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and that's what I want to get. But like I said, there were, I don't know, 30 of them checked out to teachers before I came along, and I don't know what's happening with them. I don't see them around. I have to track them down here in the next week or so and try and figure out. Like, I would love it if they wanted to keep them over the summer. Yeah, knock yourself out. That's awesome. But if they're just sitting on the corner of a desk somewhere, or they're like, the students use them to play Starfall or something, I don't know what's going on. I've got to figure that out. And so going back to what you were asking, Matt, and come up with some kind of plan for, it's great that you have it, but I need you to be using it and figuring out what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
What else are you guys doing with your bond besides building a data center and hiring 3 innovation strategy specialists?
Well, there's 7 other people getting hired. Not exactly sure what those positions are all going to be, but somebody knows that information, just not me. There's going to be two new managers. So dividing the department up into like 3 sections instead of just 2, I think. Actually, 4 sections. There's 2 new managers, and we have 1 retiring, so there'll be 3 new people coming in to supervise. And yeah, it's big change, and there's a lot of angst about that right now in the department.
Change is scary.
Change is scary. Just talk about removing cubes and watch people freak out. So it's big changes there. Obviously, new schools are being built. Most of the schools are getting fixed. Roofs are getting fixed. Gyms are getting fixed. Classrooms are getting fixed. So there's a lot of, $680 million. It's a lot of money over the next, I think it's 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of things getting fixed and updated, and hopefully that will ease a lot of the overcrowding, because I think there's only 2 schools in our district that aren't at capacity or over capacity right now.
Wow.
So it's a lot, but obviously for me the exciting part is the technology stuff and all the cool things we're going to get to do with that. So,
definitely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
And then anything new going on in Hillsboro, Ryan?
Innovation grants part 2. We've got 3 applicants who've already turned their stuff in, so we've got our timeline's a lot better this year. We've got a June 30th deadline. That'll give us time to read over them, as a team, and then order everything and have it in place. Not as the school year starts, but shortly thereafter. So it'll be a lot. The people will have their equipment in there quicker. They can start thinking about what they want to do with them, or better yet, rethinking what they want to do with their equipment, and then see what happens. So we're excited about that. Most of my focus right now has been on our Math Action pilot group that's been taking Chromebooks and replacing traditional print curriculum with online and open resources. So we just wrapped up with that, and it's been really exciting to do that. Actually, I went and talked to some kids yesterday who were 100% against using the Chromebooks and 100% against using digital resources, and it was a good conversation. It was a really good conversation to have with them. We kind of established some themes and some probably reasons why they didn't like it, and I think those are easily fixable. It was just timing, placement, and it was just, I think really what it came down to was a lot of kids were like, you know what, it's my senior year, there's 6 weeks left, what are you doing? And that's a valid argument.
Sure. Yeah. Don't mess with me when there's only a couple weeks left.
Exactly. I just want to graduate, leave me alone. And I remember doing that too. That's it's good. So we're actually going to fire it up again next fall, so it's like right off the bat, and get a different perspective and just kind of see, do we eliminate some of those negative attitudes that we experienced, and what exactly is the difference?
So was it just the change that they were opposed to, or the actual using the devices to do math?
Well, it was the change. It was the timing. A lot of them, they were kind of up in the air. They're like, either a book or a Chromebook. It doesn't really matter, but why would you do this to me right now? Some did have opinions on the way their teacher was teaching, and it kind of sounded like a little less on the instructional side, a little heavy on the technology. They were just kind of maybe trying to see exactly how to create this blended classroom environment, and but teachers need that time also to figure out what's going to work. And I think maybe at one point it was too much. Let's just let Khan Academy and CK12 do it. To okay, now I need to bring back some of my traditional lecture. So it was the teachers themselves like getting their footing, and it was that's good to know. That's something we need to make sure we have in our foresight, so we understand, look, these guys need some professional development, and they need to know, what to expect from the tools and what they need to expect of themselves.
Nice. Yeah, it's a new thing for everyone, right? I mean, it's not like your teachers had done this before, so.
Exactly. And these four guys that we had are, I mean, they're the best resource. People say, hey, what worked, what didn't work, and that's exactly why we did this.
Cool. It'll be interesting to talk to you going forward too, because we've struggled a little bit with our grant process. We got it done. We pretty much decided which ones are going to get funded and that kind of thing. But there are definitely some questions that we want to work through. And then, yeah, the implementation and getting things started. And it sounds like starting something in May, probably not the best idea.
No. Definitely.
Yeah.
Just axe that. Don't ever do that.
Okay, so that's good. So I learned something this morning. That's fantastic.
Are you going to be managing the grants? Are you going to be the one kind of or helping out? Is that going to be like split up amongst you and your soon-to-be
minions?
Yeah, far as I understand it, so Corinne's job is going to be able to be more focused on instructional tech than she is now, and so she'll be supervising all of that. And then, hopefully me, still unemployed, but me and the 3 new people, and then I think the LMAs will start, library media people will start doing stuff with the grants after. They're in a huge digital conversion right now, so they're going to be focused on that for the next year, it seems like. And then after that, so into our second year, we may add them. And then, so it's going to be, right now it looks like 5 or 6 people supporting 17 or 18 schools, and so we'll see how all that goes.
Well, I can tell you need more than 1, because that is too much.
Yeah, one is a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happens that just gets past the 1. So
yeah.
So teachers and bars getting coffee coming up.
Yeah, that's coming up on Saturday.
That's this Saturday?
Yeah, day after the day after the day after tomorrow.
I will be in Seattle, so I will miss the day after the day after the day after tomorrow.
Oh, man, bummer.
But
it's always a good time. Keep it on your schedule. Follow the hashtag.
Nice. Where's it at this time?
Grand Central on Fremont.
There we go.
So yeah, and if
it's
you
good.
Google,
it's an easy morning to hanging out.
Yeah, it's fun. And if you just Google the teachers and bars getting coffee, that it's like the first site that pops up.
Yeah, there's many other people that got that going.
And I'm guessing you'll talk about Camp Chromebook while you're there.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get a little more. And hopefully later this week things will slow down a little bit, and I'll be able to actually get something together for that. I've got a generalized plan. There's a couple of emails floating around.
And was this going to be attached to Digital Dreaming, or did you guys decide not to?
That's one of the emails that's floating around. Trying to figure out how, because the dates worked out the same. It's August 11th.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a Digital Dreaming Chromebook course in the morning. So I have a couple of scenarios of the way it could work out. Either if people have signed up for that and they go to that in the morning and then they want to come here, grab lunch, and go a little bit deeper or farther in the afternoon, or if we kind of push everybody from that Chromebook morning and just say, hey, it's a whole day thing here, or whatever, that's all floating around.
Nice.
So it'll work out one way or another. And then also planning on creating a user group for that, so meeting on Tuesday evenings, afternoons after school, like once a month, every 2 weeks, whatever, every 3 weeks, and getting together, kind of like you guys are doing in Beaverton with whatever group that is that meets at McMinimans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Thinking about doing the same thing, but a little bit more over here. I'm thinking Lucky Lab is right up the street, and they have a nice meeting area. So I have to talk to them about that yet, but I'm sure they'll play along. They're good folks.
Do they have Wi-Fi?
Yes. That's all, and that's the most important thing, right?
Yep.
It is.
That's the most important thing. Well, it sounds like I'll be able to get a good tour of local pubs and get my education in.
There you go. Social learning.
Yep.
The best combo.
Yep.
So yeah, so the Chromebook camp is coming up on the 11th, one way or the other. August 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
We'll have some follow-up sessions, so make that happen.
I think it's. I like that Riverdale's getting in on all this too, because I know there's people on the east side that getting out to Beaverton, getting out to Hillsboro is far for them. So it'll be cool to make our footprint that much bigger.
Yeah, I hope so. And I want to get us on the map and start pulling in some of the other districts that are over on this end, and get us all to start playing nicely together and doing things together would be really good. Because then, if you know the people that you're going to learn with and whatever, it's not that big of a deal to drive out to Forest Grove.
Right.
But if I don't know what I'm expecting or who's going to be there or anything, driving out to Forest Grove, I'd be like, no thanks.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That was a horrible noise.
That was. What was that?
That was my phone.
Oh.
Thought it was Corinne.
Actually, it's the alarm when Corinne comes in the door.
It's the Corinne alarm.
I have one of those set. It's an
That's
NFC
awesome.
tag.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have my headphones in, so she can't hear all your funnies right now. She'll have to go back and listen to them later.
That's okay. She can later.
So yeah, so with the Camp Chromebook and then the Digital Dreaming is going to be about 3 weeks, I think, right, Ryan? It's like 2 weeks at the end of June and a week in August.
Yeah. So in fact, we ran into a little bit of a problem with our snow days being reinstated. The 16th and the 17th, they brought back that we lost last February, and that'll just bulldoze through the first 2 days of digital dreaming. So I'm going to be teaching digital dreaming classes as well as PD classes as well as running around the district. So that's
nice.
Awesome.
a good time. But then after that, we're all clear. Everyone's looking good. And we've gotten some good signups too. It's I think there's only a couple classes with 0 people, but I have to go back in and double check. It sounds like people are excited to sign up, but I always know when you sign up 10 people, expect 5, and we'll take those 5.
Well, and then
especially during the summertime.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think the timing's good though, because people, that first 2 weeks after school gets out, people still are a little bit in the mindset of, hey, I can still learn a little bit.
They're still charged. They just got done doing a report card, so they want to do something a little more fun.
Right.
This is still an engaging topic. I mean, we offer very little in terms of just come in, sit down, take a look at it, but now create with it. So I hope that is an appeal to people. And just as I'm designing the classes, it's look, we've got a 3-hour window here. You take as much time as you need after I go through my stuff. If you want to get out of here because you're done, or you've learned what you wanted to learn, or maybe you just don't want to be here, that's cool too.
Yeah.
But I can't remember. Are we offering PDUs on these?
I think so.
I think so.
I hope so, because I'm going to need some. Pretty sure. Yeah, and then I've invited some of my other teacher friends from other districts, so that'll be, hopefully we'll spread the word there. And because it's funny, I have a friend that lives on the east side that works on the west side, a friend that lives on the west side that works on the east side, a friend that lives in Tualatin that works in Salem, and they're just all over. And so this will be good to get people all together, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And then hopefully the higher ups can start seeing like what a good idea this is and how to keep momentum like this going.
Right. Well, and hopefully I know one of the sessions that I'm working on is flipping your staff meeting. So hopefully we can get some higher ups to come to that one.
Well, once you get an audience with the principals, or even further up, you've got them. I've been working with Hillsborough's principals, and actually our superintendent's invited me to a couple of the leadership meetings, and that's like the best venue. You just take even the littlest things. We did Padlet, and they thought it was the greatest thing ever created. So now we have principals just throwing out their Padlets, and they just love the idea that they're using technology and they're showing their staff how to use it. And if it seeps from them to the classroom, then they're feeling that they're helping empower their teachers and deliver 21st century skills to some of their students. Then that's good.
Yeah, that's key to get. If you can get the building administrators on board, that fuels the change. It's in my old district, it was the thing that finally made the big push for us was the principal was like, I'm not printing the weekly agenda anymore. I'm going to email it to you, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the tipping point where our printing things as a whole started drastically slowing down, because people were realizing I don't really need to have a paper copy of this if I've got it in my inbox or whatever, but they're getting that site leader on board is a pretty big key to change.
When you've got that person on board, I mean, that's the best thing. And as we're slowly starting to push Google out further, these are the people who are, even the most non-users are excited about the possibilities of it. They just see the collaboration abilities and so much that they and their building can take ownership over, as far as just the print materials that they traditionally do in a handbook every year. Just push those out, and they're all over it.
That's fantastic. So there's still room to sign up for all the digital dreaming stuff. I just wrote myself a note to make sure I send that out to staff today.
There should be. I'm going to double check Hillsborough's class offerings and just see where we're at in terms of number of people and number of spaces available. But last time I saw, there's plenty of room.
Awesome. I will send that out. I think I have. I got to find which account. I think I have the spreadsheet somewhere.
Oh, nice. Matt, do you have that?
I would hope so, but I cannot guarantee it because I have not seen the actual sign-ups anywhere.
Oh, okay. If you need me to, let me know and I can share it with you.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't mind, yeah, or at least look at it and see if I'm already shared on it, and then it's my own fault for not finding it.
Let's see.
A lot of stuff was in the works before I ever got here, and so I've noticed that I missed a lot of. I wouldn't say I'm missing a lot of meetings, but there's a lot of meetings happening and things happening that involve me that people forget that I'm involved in.
Oh, how could people forget you, dude?
I'm forgetful. It's kind of nice.
As long as it's synergy related, right?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't need to be part of that.
When can you take that off the title?
I don't think that's ever coming off the title. Teaching and learning is there needs to be some sort of conduit from teaching and learning in IT, and I think that's me. And I think we're going to spread it with the 3 new people. We'll be able to spread that out a little bit and make the person that had my position before me was the expert.
She was queen of synergy.
And so we need to get off of that so that it's not always one person answering all the questions, and so that's my goal, is to at least spread it out. Like, I don't mind helping people with it, but there shouldn't be one person that knows everything about it.
No, I agree.
But it is it is important. This is, unfortunately, I'm getting sucked back into synergy.
Mm-hmm.
Because many eyes looking at one thing makes it a lot easier.
Right.
And making that connection between technology and grade reporting, administrative stuff, and the classroom, there needs to be somebody that can connect those 3 points.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm back in the synergy pool. Yay me.
Yeah.
Synergy.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're not synergizing.
Yeah, I'm not super excited about it, but it is what it is. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, And when we can figure out a way to get that hooked in with Google Classroom, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, well, that's still
Synergy in Google Classroom.
Just, throwing it out there as a possibility.
That would be awesome.
It would be awesome, but it's Classroom doesn't have a grade book, so
that is true. But we should be able to export that information somehow, and then let Synergy import it. Work on that, Sean. Every time I have a problem with Google, I talk to you, and magic things happen.
Well, you'll be able to get. It doesn't have a grade book, but you'll be able to track assignments and
Right.
and assign grades to individual assignments. So it would stand to reason that you'd be able to download that as a CSV and then upload it into whatever you want.
And I think that'll make, especially in these Synergy districts, it'll make, like Google Classroom especially, or any of the LMSs, it'll make them a lot more functional if teachers don't have to do that stuff twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's when we're looking at this Schoology more and more, and one feature that everybody's been talking about is just a connection between the two. And I think, there's a backwards connection. I think you can enter in for some information. Oh no, I'm sorry. You can enter
Push.
Yes, exactly. So I don't think they're ever going to give up that control. So just use it for what it is, the tool that you need it for. Synergy Classroom was open attendance, and then communication for occasionally, and grading day. So, and then I realized Gradebook will be coming on board, so there'd be a little bit more, but
and it's the gradebook part, I think, that'll steer people away from using some sort of other LMS, because if I have to, even though the assignments go in, if I still have to take that information and put it into something else, I can see a lot of people just reverting back to their paper grade books or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that was the thing when we were at the LMS shootout, for lack of a better term, that Schoology was, as soon as they said, yes, we can hook into Synergy, everybody's ears perked up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see.
Schoology wants to, but Synergy's being a little, EduPoint's being a little fussy about it.
Yeah,
well,
hopefully, if enough of us go the Schoology route and we're all starting to share resources and stuff, it wouldn't be hard to, with Schoology, it's SCORM compliant or whatever. So, if somebody created an 8th grade standards-based grade book that aligned to your 8th grade Synergy grade book, you just download and upload. And that would be really simple.
And that would be very, very useful, because now you've got the students involved, the parents involved, like in real time, instead of, because Synergy doesn't really have that real time focus on here's the work, and you can see the grades right away, but it's not the same thing.
Our teachers, the 4 who were involved in the math pilot, were using Synergy. Or I'm sorry, we're using Schoology as their base, as their online classroom, and they loved it. They never really got into any of the gradebook components or anything like that. But as far as just a hub for where kids can go for resources, they were all using it in different ways. But they got some really good feedback from them on that.
Cool. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens this summer as the beta starts to drop for Classroom and how people like it. I think it's going to be great, but we'll see how it goes.
People also like Google Wave.
That's true. And Hangouts are usually fantastic unless they don't work.
Somebody blocked someone.
Stuff happens. So then looks like, Sean, you had a couple other big events that look like they're coming up.
Oh, yeah. So EdCamp PDX is going to be here at Riverdale on August 16th. Looking forward to that. And by that point, we'll have I will have this network dialed out, and there will be loads of connections and bandwidth, and everything will be great.
Okay.
Nice.
So hopefully the ball's gonna start rolling on that within the next week. And then just in case, I kind of doubt anybody is going to take a day off work and drive out to Pendleton, but next week is the iPad Chromebook Summit out there, and there's think there's over 100 people registered already, but they have room for more. Going to be a full day out in beautiful Pendleton, and it's an ORVSD event, so there's going to be lots of food and good time.
Well, I'll have to look at the Digital Dreaming doc and see if anybody signed up for any of my sessions. Then maybe I'll go out to Pendleton instead.
It'll be worth it. It's a nice drive. Joe is organizing it, and
nice.
Got a lot of great sessions going. So they're kind of divided into iPad sessions and Chromebook sessions, or that's the focus.
Right.
So depending on what you've got in your classroom or in your school, you can kind of tailor which sessions you're going to for the day.
Nice.
Cool.
And then just putting it on the radar, I don't know if anybody's interested in it or not, but there's a couple of camps coming up down in Bend in Central Oregon for, there's a Trinket. It's coming to Bend Lapine, I believe. It's like a 2-day, 3-day camp for kids to learn how to code with Python, and it's very hands-on and activities and all kinds of good stuff. I'm trying to work with those people to get them to, because they are like in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
What it'd be like to get them to piggyback. So, like if they're in Bend on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if I could get them to come up to Portland on Thursday and Friday and do something similar up here.
That'd be awesome. Python.
So that's on my list of things to do. And then there's also Minecraft in the Classroom camp for kids and adults. So as a parent, you go with your kid and learn about Minecraft and its uses in the classroom and all kinds of great stuff. That's going to be at a private school in Bend. It's like 3 days in mid-July. I want to say around the 17th. I have the information buried somewhere. If anybody's interested, that could shoot me an email.
Cool.
I can get the information for that. Yeah, it should be pretty good. I think it's pretty cheap. It's like 3 full days. I want to say for like $200.
That's cool.
So, should be pretty good.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Awesome. And then we talked earlier a while ago about making northwestedtech.org, having them have a comeback.
Yeah, it's starting right now, right?
Make stuff happen.
The slogan. We start adding to it.
Yeah.
Well, Matt posted. Was that last week?
Yeah.
Late last week.
And yeah, so
I've got a couple that need to go there too. So
cool. And I'm gonna dual post because we have a blog inside of Beaverton too that most of the stuff I can share both ways. So.
Well, and that's it'll be my blog for Riverdale that I'll just be cross-posting.
Right. And then because I was asking before about a place to have all of the upcoming education opportunities, and I had totally forgotten about northwestedtech.org, but it seems like a good place for that kind of information.
Yeah, we have a lot of people on the radar, so I've got to do a better job of organizing it and saying, okay, Matt, we need you to post on Tuesday, and Ryan, you post something on Thursday. And
well, that's a good idea. I'm looking for that same idea.
And I need to do a better job of organizing it. But we're keeping as far as upcoming events. But we've got this running doc in there, so as long as we keep this up to date, maybe that'll pass for now.
Well, that'd be great if we could all find just some way to contribute to one area, because when I've got my blog, everyone's got their blog, and I sit there and I update it, but at the same time I'm thinking, God, if we could just contribute, and if I could just be occasional contributor once a week, once every 2 weeks, and just whatever out there, it's a resource, it's something I found.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Add that to my list of creating a calendar.
Okay. Because you don't have enough stuff to do already.
Yeah.
It's fun stuff. And then, so we are going to try to do this every other week, right?
Yeah.
Get back on a regular schedule and go opposite the Wild Women of Ed Tech or whatever they're called.
Whatever their name, I'm keeping it right there because that was a great name.
I hope that the one viewer is not one of them.
I'm going to say the District Leadership Discussion Group.
Okay, the District Leadership Discussion Group.
Nice.
Although one of them, well, yeah, that's a whole different conversation. But so cool. I mean, I think this was good, and once we got it started, it worked out great.
Nice. And I'll have to make sure I pinpoint which of my accounts to go to, because with 3 or 4 or probably 5 of them, I'll make
Yeah.
sure to go to.
So yeah, we'll get all that sorted out, and but yeah, this is great. Thanks, guys.
Good deal.
Well, it was good talking to you guys, and thanks again for organizing, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
Yep.